In the middle of New York City stands a luxurious skyscraper that looks like a dream from the outside. It is elegant, ultra-modern, and located in one of the most expensive places in the world. But surprisingly, this building is almost empty. Even billionaires hesitate to live here. Many people call it the Ghost Tower because so many of its expensive apartments remain dark and unoccupied. The real name of this building is 111 West 57th Street, also known as Steinway Tower. It is considered one of the world's tallest and thinnest skyscrapers. Its height reaches about 1,428 feet, while its width is only as wide as a tennis court. This extreme shape makes it one of the most unusual engineering projects ever built. Constructing such a thin and tall building was not simple. Engineers had to challenge the limits of concrete, steel, and even physics itself. Every part of the tower had to be carefully designed so it would not collapse, bend, or become unsafe for people living inside. Many people first look at the tower and think it might tilt sideways one day. But the real problem is actually the opposite. The building almost seems like it wants to lift itself off the ground because of powerful wind forces acting on such a narrow structure. When strong wind hits a tall and thin building like this, it creates not only sideways pressure, but also something called a plift force. This force can pull the structure upward. Unlike wider skyscrapers that stay grounded by their heavy weight, this tower needed extra help to stay firmly attached to the earth. To solve this problem, engineers installed around 200 giant steel anchors deep into the solid rock beneath Manhattan. These anchors go nearly 100 feet underground and work like the roots of a giant tree, holding the building tightly in place and preventing it from being lifted by the wind. Another major challenge was building the walls. If the walls were too thick, the valuable living space inside would become smaller. Since land in this part of New York is incredibly expensive, every inch matters. Engineers needed both strength and thinness at the same time. They used extremely strong concrete that can handle around 14,000 psi of pressure, which is nearly 3 times stronger than normal concrete. This allowed the tower to remain slim while still supporting the enormous weight of the entire structure safely. However, the biggest enemy of the building was still the wind. There is a dangerous effect called vortex shedding. When wind moves around a tall, narrow tower, it creates spinning air patterns called vortices on both sides of the building, pushing it left and right again and again. This repeated pushing creates regular vibrations inside the tower. If the speed of these vibrations matches the building's natural movement, the shaking can become much stronger and even dangerous. It is similar to soldiers marching across a bridge and accidentally causing it to shake too much. To fight this, engineers used several smart solutions. First, they designed the shape of the building so wind could not create strong regular vortices easily. Second, the outside was covered with special terracotta tiles that help break up the airflow and reduce wind pressure. Third, special blow-through floors were added on the 51st, 71st, and 86th floors. These are hollow spaces where air can pass directly through the building. This helps reduce pressure from strong winds and makes the structure more stable during storms. At the very top of the tower, engineers installed an 800-ton tuned mass damper. This giant weight moves in the opposite direction whenever the building sways. It works like a balancing system, helping reduce movement and making life inside the building safer and more comfortable. But even with all this advanced technology, problems still happened. In 2020, while the tower was still under construction, a major storm hit New York. A giant crane on top of the building became unstable, and the huge steel balancing ball attached to it started swinging dangerously. The heavy metal ball, almost the size of a car, swung hundreds of feet above the city and smashed into parts of the building. This damaged the facade, stopped construction work, and increased costs significantly. The project was already under financial pressure, and this made things worse. Even after opening in 2022, the building faced more bad headlines. Large pieces of ice reportedly fell from the tower because of its movement and weather conditions. One driver on the road below was hit, though thankfully he survived. Public trust in the building became even weaker. Financially, the project also became a nightmare. What started as a dream luxury development turned into a $2 billion project. Stronger materials, custom designs, and engineering solutions made construction extremely expensive. Then came a $66 million foreclosure that destroyed many early investors. To recover losses, apartment prices were kept extremely high. Some units cost over $50 million, while the penthouse reached nearly $110 million. Many rich buyers simply chose other luxury buildings instead. As a result, many apartments remained unsold, and the tower earned its ghost tower nickname. Living there does offer incredible luxury. Residents get breathtaking views of Central Park, the Hudson River, the East River, and the entire Manhattan skyline. The interiors are beautifully designed with world-class materials, high ceilings, and exclusive luxury features that few buildings can match. But life inside also feels strange. On windy days, residents can actually feel the building move like a giant ship at sea. Strange creaking sounds from steel and concrete can be heard at night. Fast elevators, strong water pumps, and constant motion make living there feel less like a home and more like living inside a giant engineering experiment.